We are going to start working through filling in this table of the trig values of our special angles that we'll be working with. And so we're going to just start by converting between radians and degrees. This is pretty small, so I might shift back and forth a little bit, but let's go ahead and get started. We know that a full rotation is 360 degrees when dealing with degrees. We also know that a full rotation is 2 pi radians, which means 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. And we can use this to make some conversion factors. We can divide either both sides by 360 degrees, and if we reduce, we get 1 is equal to, also reducing this side, pi over 180, pi radians over 180 degrees. Or we could take that same equation, 360 degrees equals 2 pi radians, and we could divide both sides by 2 pi. And that would give us another conversion factor. So this reduces to 1. This reduces to 180 degrees over pi. So 180 degrees over pi radians equals 1. And so to convert from degrees to radians, so we would want to cancel degrees. So our degrees would be on the bottoms. We would want to multiply by this form of 1, pi radians over 180 degrees. And to convert from radians to degrees, we would want to cancel the radians, so we would multiply by 180 degrees over pi radians. Now that's a whole different thing we can be working through, and we can convert all kinds of degrees and radians, but we are going to go ahead and look at our table here, and we want to convert. So nice and easy, we're going from degrees to radians, so we are going to be working with this, and we're going to multiply by pi radians over 180 degrees. Well, this is easy. You get 0. For 30 degrees, we're going to try to squeeze a few in here, but not all of them. We're just going to get started. So we have 30. That's degrees, and we're going to multiply by pi radians over 180 degrees. The degrees cancel. 30 goes into both of these, so we have 1, and 30 goes into the 6 times. So we have pi over 6. Let's take 45 degrees. And we'll multiply that by pi radians over 180 degrees. The degrees cancel. 45 goes into 45 once and goes into 184 times, so we're left with pi over 4. And we could do that for 60 degrees, for 90 degrees, and we could work our way down and convert all of these where we multiply by pi over 180 and then simplify. So we get, if you do that, you'll get pi over 3, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 6, and pi. Now I do want you to notice, this is really helpful for thinking through things later. These angles right here lie in between pi over 2 and pi. And so those fractions, notice, if you kind of disregard the pi, because we can think of this as half and this is 1. You don't have to disregard it, but 2/3, 3/4, and 5/6 are in between half and 1. So we know those things are in the second quadrant. Moving on, we could keep going with these. This is going to be 7 pi over 6, 5 pi over 4, and 4 pi over 3, 3 pi over 2. Notice these are between 1 and 1.5. On our graph here, that's between 1 pi and 1.5 pi. So those fractions are just above 1, but less than half. Those are in the third quadrant. And then we can finish this off. We can write or find these. We could convert these the same way. Remember, we were multiplying by pi over 180. And so this is going to be 5 pi over 3, 7 pi over 4, 11 pi over 6, and then this is 2 pi, which really is coterminal with a 0-degree angle. And once again, we'll take a look at this. These are between 1.5 pi, so here's our 1.5, to 2 pi. And so when you see those, you know they're in the fourth quadrant because they're almost 2 pi. They're getting close to 2 pi. And so that is converting all those special degrees to radians.